Hi friends! Welcome back to another Bible time. I'm so glad you've joined me again. Last week we asked the really important question, who is Jesus? This week we're asking the question, who's most important? When I was a little girl, I had a big competitive streak. Okay, maybe that hasn't entirely gone away. I always wanted to be the best test taker, the best reader, the best piano player, at least in my home, the best singer, the best Christian. It felt really good when people I admired, like teachers and loving adults, told me that they were proud of me or that I was good at something. It felt good to make teams, to win competitions, to feel important. Do you ever want that? To feel important? Jesus's friends wanted to feel important. In fact, they wanted to be important. They believed that Jesus was doing something, starting a revolution, and maybe even overthrowing the government. And they really wanted to have important jobs in that new order. They didn't realize that Jesus was doing something totally new, so revolutionary and different that we still don't even really understand it now. To hear more about it, let's turn our Bibles to Mark chapter 9, verses 3 through 37. It's really short. They came to Capernaum. When he was in the house, he asked them, "What were you arguing about on the road?" But they kept quiet because on the way they'd argued about who was the greatest. Sitting down, Jesus called the 12 and said, "If anyone wants to be first, he must be very last and the servant of all." He took a child and had him stand among them. Taking him in his arms, he said to them, "Whoever welcomes one of these little children in my name welcomes me. And whoever welcomes me does not welcome me, but the one who sent me." So what did you hear? What did you notice as you were listening? The first thing that I notice is that Jesus's friends are embarrassed that he noticed they were arguing. Because they were arguing about who was the greatest or most important. They were so embarrassed, in fact, that they don't even answer Jesus about what they were arguing about. They don't tell him. But without them answering, Jesus says, if you want to be important, don't think of yourself first. Take care of others. He calls a child into the midst of them, likely a child who lived in the house that they were in that night. In our current society, children are pretty important. We do a lot of things for and with children now, but that wasn't always the case. When Jesus was teaching his friends, and really until pretty recent history, children were considered property. And they were only as valuable as what they could do or what they might be able to do in the future to contribute to their family and to society. But Jesus calls the child in and says, how you welcome one of these children is how you welcome me. It isn't about what someone can do or even what they will be able to do later in life. They are important because Jesus says so. Jesus is affirming the value of children. And he's doing something bigger. He's making it really clear that rank and role and popularity and how much money you have and your status. None of that matters in the kingdom of God. You don't have to make straight A's or write the perfect essay to be part of what Jesus is doing. You will keep learning and growing, but you don't have to wait until you know enough to be part of what Jesus is doing. Jesus wants us to follow him and make this world a little bit more like the kingdom of God now, no matter who we are or how important we are according to the world. So, who's the greatest? Do you believe that Jesus thinks you're important? Do you believe that your brother or your sister or your neighbor is important to Jesus? Is there something that you can do this week to consider others before you think about yourself? That's a hard one. It's hard for me too. Friends, I love you. And I'm so glad that we get to ask questions together and look at the Bible together. I'll see you soon, you very important person, you.